Welcome students. This is an initiative of Directorate of Higher Education, Government of Goa to develop e-content learning in the subject economics. The module is based on TYBCom subject Indian Monetary and Financial System for semester 5 and the subject code is CC16. The session is based on Unit 1 Money and Money Supply, Module 7 Qualitative or Selective Credit Control Instruments, which are used by the Reserve Bank of India to control money supply in the economy. I am Shweta Borkar, Assistant Professor in Economics at Narayan Sati College of Commerce, Bicholim, Goa. The module is designed to cover the meaning of selective credit control instruments. We are going to cover three instruments. One is margin requirements, second, regulation of consumer credit, and the third one is direct action. Regarding learning outcomes, the student will be able to name the different selective credit control instruments which are used by the Reserve Bank of India to control the money supply. The student will also come to know about the logic and mechanism of selective credit control instruments. Let's see the first one, margin requirement. The term margin refers to that part of the loan amount which is not sanctioned by the bank. The borrower has to arrange this part of finance from his own sources. We find that generally commercial banks do not give loan up to the full amount of value of collateral security. It gives loan which is less than the full value of security. If you look at this pie chart, we find the blue color denotes the bank loan which is given to a consumer. It is 90% of the value of collateral security. And the orange color is the 10% margin which is kept by the bank. To take the example forward, we find central bank fixes 10% as a margin on the value of a security. Then the commercial banks will give loan only up till 90% of the value of security and 10% will be kept as margin. Assume that the value of security is rupees 10,000. Then the bank will give only 9,000 as loan amount and the remaining 1,000 has to be arranged by the consumer out of his own sources. If the bank increases the margin requirement, then the amount of loan which is given to the consumer decreases. On the other hand, when the bank decreases the margin requirement, the consumer is able to get more loan from the bank. So again, if you look in this figure, you find the moment margin is higher, the green arrow which is shown, loan which is sanctioned is lower. And the blue arrow shows that if the margin is reduced, the amount of loan which is given by the bank against a collateral security is higher. So what does the central bank do? During inflation, it fixes a higher margin. As a result, borrowers borrow less and the supply of money in the economy falls. On the other hand, during deflation, RBI keeps a lower margin. As a result, the borrowers are encouraged to borrow more and there is increase in the supply of money. Let us go to the second one, regulation of consumer credit. We as consumers, we borrow from banks and buy a number of consumer goods. We are intended to buy maybe a laptop, a mobile, there may be a washing machine, a television or a refrigerator. So RBI regulates this consumer credit. It places a limit on the total amount of credit which is given to a particular commodity. It regulates the number of installments or the minimum down payment which is to be made while purchasing the product, or it may change the rate of interest. This is an example of a cooking gas stove what we call cooking hob. You find if there is a inflation in the economy, what the RBI will do is it will increase the down payment and it will reduce the term of repayment. So a consumer will be able to borrow less, because the moment there is increase in down payment, the consumer has to give more money out of his own pocket. And since the term of repayment is less, he has to repay the loan within a short period of time. So this will discourage the consumers from borrowing from the banks during inflation. Just the opposite happens during deflation. The same cooking gas which the consumer wants to buy, the bank will reduce the down payment and it will give more time to repay the loan. So naturally, the consumer will be encouraged to borrow more, and this will increase the supply of money in the economy. To summarize about this regulation of consumer credit, we say that during inflation, there is increase in the down payment and there is a reduction in the term of repayment. Whereas during deflation, there is decrease in the amount of down payment and increase in the length of repayment. Coming to the last selective credit control instrument, that is direct action. Press reports carried these examples. A monetary penalty of 4 crore on Citibank, a monetary penalty of 1.2 crore on Karnataka Bank. Now, why RBI imposed these penalties? The reason is these banks did not follow the guidelines which were issued by RBI from time to time. Another example is RBI cancelled the license of one of the oldest cooperative bank in Goa, the Mapsa Urban Cooperative Bank of Goa Limited. This was somewhere in April 2020. These are some examples of extreme steps which have been taken by the Reserve Bank of India. So if commercial banks do not follow the RBI instructions or what we call directives, then the RBI has power to take certain penal action against them. These actions are in the form of RBI may refuse to give credit facilities, it may cancel the license of the bank, it may deny permission to open more branches, or it may refuse to grant refinance facilities, or it can be in the form of imposing restrictions while the loan is given by the erring bank. And above all, what the RBI does it gives wide publicity about the erring bank so that public is aware about the mistakes or the violations which are being done by the concerned commercial bank. So to conclude, we say that the selective credit control methods will be successful, okay, based on availability of different sources of credit, because in India you find there are a number of financial institutions which are operating maybe in the money market or in the capital market. There are some sectors which come under unorganized sector where RBI has no direct control. And we find there is fund divergence. Fund divergence means the loan is sanctioned for one purpose but it is utilized for another and the commercial bank has no control over it. So what we require for the success of selective credit control instruments is a judicious mix of quantitative credit control and qualitative credit control methods. These are some references. Thank you.